It's week 5 of the NFL on CBS, and we welcome you to Glendale, Arizona, where the Houston Texans take on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals come in at 1-2, the defending NFC champions under Ken Whisenhunt, and they have stumbled out of the blocks here in 2009. Meanwhile, Gary Kubiak's team 2-2, chance to go to 2-0 on the road, something that the Texans have never done in their franchise's history. Iron Eagle, Rich Gannon, and the rest of our CBS crew, we are set for the Texans' first ever trip into Arizona. Houston has won the toss. Neil Rackers will kick it off. Andre Davis is the deep man, and we're underway in the Valley of the Sun. Davis moving forward from the 10 and tripped up. Andre Davis goes down as a flag comes down as well, down at the 25-yard line. Jeremy Urban, first man downfield to make the play, and we will hear from Tony Corrente right out of the gate.
During the return of the kick, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 40. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That penalty works against John Deasing for the Texans. Matt Schaub, starting quarterback for the Houston Texans. How about his development under Gary Kubiak? What have you seen, Rich?
Well, Gary Kubiak told us yesterday he has a chance to be an elite quarterback in this league if he can figure out two things: better job with ball security and, of course, staying healthy throughout the entire season.
He has had a red zone interception in each of the last 2 games. Houston opens up, empty backfield, and a fumble to start play, as Schaub is able to jump on top of that loose football. Inauspicious way to get this afternoon started for the Texans.
You look at pressure right up the middle, the very first play. Matt Schaub, eyes downfield, but the quarterback center exchange, something that you work on every day in practice going back to training camp.
Center is Chris Myers in his 5th year, former member of the Denver Broncos. So now Houston faces a 2nd and 12. Quick snap, and Schaub out to Andre Johnson, able to sling it to the perimeter. Brian McFadden over there to make the play. It's a 7-yard gain. Let's take a look at the starting Houston offense. They have not gotten a push on that offensive line to get the running game going. Casey Stutter does start at left guard. Chester Fitz out for the year, but you will see Chris White get an opportunity there. Andre Johnson, is he the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL? Is it Larry Fitzgerald? We'll pose that question to Rich over the course of the day here. 3rd and 5. Crowd is loud to open things up. Schaub in the pocket, throws it too high for Davis. Incomplete. And the Texans 3 and out on their first possession of the day.
Well, a good way to start if you're Arizona. Get some pressure on Matt Schaub early. I think that's important. That's something that they talked about when we visited with him the other day. They said we have to get Matt Schaub moving out of the pocket, get him off the spot.
The veteran punter, Matt Turk, puts it in the air. Steve Preston, and fair catch. He hauls it in cleanly at the 36-yard line. That's where Arizona will open things up after the 49-yard punt. Kurt Warner, in his 5th year with Arizona, he has 49 career 300-yard passing games. Only 4 players in NFL history have 50. What has been the issue so far offensively for Arizona on the young season?
Well, pass protection has been a problem. It's a common theme so far. They've worked on it in training this bye week. Listen, here's a guy that if you don't get pressure on him early and you allow him to get comfortable, he can really run the table. Very accurate passer. Just asked Jacksonville 2 weeks ago. He
told us we're just not firing on all cylinders. Everybody's trying to be too perfect in this offense. Warner throwing on first down, and a big connection to Anquan Bolden into Houston territory. 21-yard pass play to open up as we take a look at the starting Cardinals offense. Mike Gandy, he's been tested. Dwight Freeney got him for 2 sacks in Arizona's last game, a loss to Indy, 31-10 in week 3. Backs and receivers, Tim Hightower gets the start. Right now, Ken Whisenhunt just trusts him more than the rookie Beanie Wells out of Ohio State. So a new set of downs for Arizona at the 44. Handoff, it's Hightower, he's got a running lane. And Tim Hightower has that cruising running style. Got a good block from Kreider and Sedline. It's an 11-yard gain and a first down for Arizona. Defensively for the Houston Texans, well, the former Cardinal Antonio Smith spent 5 years as a member of the Arizona Cardinals. Went to the Super Bowl with the team last year. Signed a free agent deal with Houston. Linebackers, boy, Brian Cushing. What a standout he has been. The rookie out of USC. Hard-nosed linebacker. And in the secondary, there have been changes every week. But Glover Quinn, the rookie from New Mexico, gets his second consecutive start in that defensive backfield for Houston. From the gun, Warner, quick toss, and it's Hightower releasing out of the backfield, and Hightower angled out of bounds by Bernard Pollard, signed from Kansas City, former second-round pick in 2006. It's a 6-yard gain. Let's check out our most valuable points for Arizona and Houston.
Well, for Arizona, pass protection has been a problem so far for the Cardinals. Kurt Warner taking way too many hits. It's got to get cleaned up. It was a point of emphasis during the bye week. For Houston, the secondary is a group that's in transition. They've gone 5 straight weeks with a different starting lineup. They're hoping for some consistency and production the rest of the way.
On a 2nd and 4 from the 27, Beanie Wells with a spin move. And brought down after he got the first down, a 9-yard gain. Sedline and Levi Brown with a couple of key blocks up front. Chris Beanie Wells, the 31st overall pick, and he's got big playability.
Well, they want and they need more consistency in the run game. I think there's too much of an imbalance right now. You look at their passing offense, they're 4th, but the rushing offense, they're 31st, rushing for just 60 yards a game. That's why they went out and drafted Beanie Wells. They want production and consistency to take some pressure off of Kurt Warner.
And a timeout taken with 11:21 to go in this first quarter. Arizona is on the move, looking to get out of the chute in a hurry against Houston. We're coming back. Beautiful Sunday in Glendale, Arizona, University of Phoenix Stadium, and the Cardinals looking to get off to a strong start here. After the timeout, little trickery, Bolden on the end around. Quan Bolden carries to the 15-yard line. He picks up 3 well-earned yards. Eugene Wilson with the smack, the former New England Patriot.
You get a good look there at Gary Kubiak and the Houston Texans. You know, they've not been a very good road team under Gary Kubiak. 2-6 in the last 3 seasons. 4 of their next 5 are on the road, and it's a critical stretch for this football team. I really believe the key to winning on the road is playing good defense, and then an offense that's able to take care of the football.
Spread it out, 4 receivers set, 6th play of the drive to open things up for Arizona. This is a 2nd and 7 for the Cardinals. From the Houston 15, Warner, short toss, Hightower, and out of bounds inside the 5. Too much room between Hightower and Connor Barwin, rookie out of Cincinnati.
And they're actually asking the defensive end to cover Hightower because of the coverage and because of the pressure that they're bringing, and that's just a mismatch. Hightower too much for Barwin, and that's what you get with a guy like Kurt Warner, a veteran player, knows exactly what the matchup he's looking for.
Tim Hightower, one of only 3 running backs in the NFL to lead his team in rushing and receptions. 1st and goal inside the 5 for Arizona. Warner on a handoff. Hightower bulldozing it way up the middle, and he picks up 2 yards. Moby Okoye combining with Bernard Pollard to bring down Tim Hightower, 2nd-year running back out of Richmond.
And I really expected Arizona to come out and be sharp offensively. They had the extra week off with the bye week, an extra week to prepare, to really go back and look at some fundamentals and techniques and come out. And as Kurt Warner said, it really felt like we were trying too hard the first couple weeks of the season. We're trying to be perfect rather than just going out and making plays.
Cardinals looking to get on the board first, 2nd and goal, just outside the 1. Handoff. Hightower finds running room. Touchdown, Cardinals. Now, Tim Hightower's got that north-south style, but he can make a cut when necessary. And a small adjustment to burst through for the score.
Well, just a very efficient drive, a good mix of run and pass. Kurt Warner, 3 of 3 for 38 yards. Hightower, nice job not only catching the ball, but running the ball as well.
And it's been a problem for Houston, not only getting their run game going on offense, but stopping the run. 8 plays, 64 yards. Neil Rackers tacks on the extra point. Hightower had 32 total yards on the drive, and Arizona with a 7-0 lead over Houston. First quarter action continues. It's the NFL on CBS. Arizona had to get that bad taste out of their mouth from 2 weeks ago, losing to Indianapolis in the way that they did, giving up 505 yards of offense to the Colts. They kick off after the touchdown. Andre Davis is stood up at the 20. Extra effort gets him a few more yards, a 23-yard return. And that is where the Texans will open up this drive. Well, everybody talks about that runner-up jinx in the NFL. We know the Cardinals were a big surprise in 2008. Here's how teams have fared when they have fallen short in the Super Bowl coming back the next year.
I know, I lived it in 2002. It's difficult. The expectations are just incredible. You have to find a way to forget about what you did the year before. It's a new year, new players, and you have to go out and play your best football each and every week.
Ball spotted just shy of the 24. Texans with a handoff to Steve Slayton, wrestling his way for extra yardage. Give him a gain of 4 on the play. Brian Robinson, the veteran defensive tackle, first man there to make the stop for Arizona.
You know, I thought it was really important what Matt Schaub said last night on the fact that they have to go out and sustain some long drives. He said, we realize what our defense is up against versus Arizona offense. They can't have any clear-outs or turnovers. You can't give their offense extra turns, so we have to take care of the ball and put some long drives together.
Vontae Leach shifts off the line into the backfield. Schaub throwing. High throw handled by Andre Johnson, and it's a clean catch and a first down to the 40. Well, you knew this would come up at some point. Who's number one? Is it Andre Johnson? Is it Larry Fitzgerald? You're starting a team, Rich Gannon. Who's your first pick at wide receiver? I'm
going to take the easy way out. I'm going to take both of them. I think it's 6 in one, half dozen in the other. I really do. You're talking about the reigning conference leaders in both receptions and yards. 2 of the best receivers in the game on the field today competing against one another. And I'm just excited to see who has the better game.
Vontae Leach shifting to the backfield once again. Flag comes down, and this play never happens. Hand off to Steve Slayton.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And that's big Dwayne Brown in his second year from Virginia Tech. So the numbers that we've talked about in regards to Johnson and Fitzgerald, both have been prolific, 3-time Pro Bowlers. I think if you polled 100 NFL fans, it could be down the middle, literally.
Yeah. And you know, the thing that makes them great is their work ethic. Both of these guys really put the time in. They take great pride in their preparation and performance.
1st and 15, play fake. Schaub, pocket holds up, now flushed out, in trouble, and slapped down. Schaub was going down, and then Brian Robinson was able to make sure the ball didn't go anywhere. Clark Hagan's making his way over and applying some pressure.
Well, this is the problem right now with the Texans. Matt Schaub has a tendency, in my opinion, to hold the ball sometimes. If his primary receiver's not there, you watch him moving around. Look at the protection. Hagens gets the takedown, but he's hesitant to pull it down and run sometimes, and that's something he could really help this offense if he would just pull it down and try and make a few yards with his legs.
2nd and 15, quick count. Schaub off the line for Kevin Walter. Dominique Cromartie-Rogers there with the coverage. He's been going through a sophomore slump at the cornerback position. And Gary Kubiak's team now facing a 3rd and long here at the midway point of this first quarter.
Well, Dominique Rogers-Cromartie, you're right, he's off to a rough start. He hasn't been able to follow up an impressive rookie campaign. He's struggled with some inconsistent play. I really think the Texans have to find out where he is early. You have to like this matchup and go after the corner up on the top of your screen.
3 receivers set on a 3rd and 15 now for Houston. And delayed handoff for Slayton. He's got a little bit of room. Slayton trying to break a tackle, but well short of a first down. Adrian Wilson ranging over to make the play. And the Texans are forced to punt for the 2nd time today. An 8-yard pickup for Slayton.
Well, the one thing the Cardinals have been able to do defensively, they're 6th in run defense, despite facing 3 different Pro Bowl running backs in the first 3 games. They went up against Frank Gore, Maurice Jones-Drew, Joseph Adai. They are playing much better run defense under Bill Davis.
3-time Pro Bowler Matt Turk will punt it. Joel Dreesen is the snapper. And the dangerous Steve Preston standing at his own 13-yard line. Shorter punt. It does take a Texan bounce and will settle in right at the 13. So Preston had it lined up correctly, but just never got a chance to return it. 43-yard punt. Warner and the Cardinals offense when we come back. Arizona with a 7-0 lead over Houston. NFL on CBS. Welcome back to the broadcast booth, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Rich Gannon, and handling the onslaught. I think that was the concern for the Houston Texans here against Arizona. Coming off the bye week, they look fresh. They look very motivated.
Yeah, they really do. And you knew they were going to start well offensively. They came out, they worked on the fundamentals and techniques during the bye week. They looked sharp. Now the Texans, they have to find a way to get it going offensively. They've really struggled those first two drives. The defense has to find a way to come up with a stop.
Arizona with a 7-0 lead. They've got the football on first down. Handoff to Beanie Wells, and nothing there for the rookie. Zach Dials combining with Tim Bowman to bring down the Ohio State product. No gain on the play.
Well, we talk about the common thread was the poor pass protection. They really spent a lot of time working and emphasizing pass sets during the bye week, working on passing off stunts and games inside. Both those tackles really struggled against Indy. The speed of Dwight Freeney and Brock were just too much, so they went back, and with Russ Grimm, they spent extra time trying to solidify this pass protection.
And a full receiver set on 2nd and 10. Warner pumping, throwing the short ball, and Bolden could not haul it in. Well, the Arizona Cardinals at their best, like most teams, when you can mix it up, the throw and the run. We know they can sling it. Kurt Warner has put up huge numbers. Can they find the balance and run it?
Well, it's a multi-dimensional passing attack. They have it all. They attack you at each level. They have the quick three-step game, the intermediate throws. They can throw it over the top. And if that's not enough, they're also a very, very good screen team.
Warner starting his 35th consecutive game for the Cardinals. Hightower is in there with Jason Wright. Third down back on 3rd and long. Warner. Soft toss for Hightower. Yards after the catch for Tim Hightower. It's not going to be enough for the first down. Banged down by Glover Quinn, agile rookie from Summit, Mississippi. And it appears just short of that first down. We'll see where they eventually spot it at the 23.
I really enjoy watching Kurt Warner on film. It's clear when you watch his eyes, he moves very quickly through his progressions. He's very decisive, and he always knows where his quick answer throws. You saw that last one, that check down. Knows how to get that ball out of his hands very quick.
And they got it by the nose of the football. So this drive continues for Ken Whisenhunt and the Cardinals. What about this? The dynamic now of Whisenhunt calling plays for this Arizona squad. Everything changes in the process. We'll talk more about that. Kurt Warner. Now look at this achievement. Fran Tarkenton, the only other man to have 13,000 passing yards with two different teams, and Kurt Warner has now matched him with St. Louis and the Cardinals. Tarkenton, a Hall of Famer, and a first down for Arizona at the 23. Good protection. Warner throwing deep ball, caught by Preston. First down, Cardinals working against the rookie Glover Quinn. Hightower with a key block to buy a little more time for Warner.
And this is actually pretty good cover. You're going to see Kurt Warner slide to his left, but he gives the receiver a chance on the boundary. You see Preston there up against the rookie Quinn. Nice job on the boundary. And the thing you know about this offense, a lot of firepower at the wide receiver position. 3 1,000-yard receivers from a year ago, and they're finally all healthy.
Steve Preston has really developed, proving he's much more than just a return man for this Arizona squad. 7 first downs for the Cardinals. Warner moving pocket, throwing on the run, and getting Fitzgerald involved. Larry Fitzgerald short of the marker. It's a 9-yard gain on first down. Bernard Pollard brought down the Pro Bowl receiver. NFL Today update. Let's head to New York and check in with JB.
Ian and Rich. Kansas City was looking for its first victory of the season, forced the Cowboys into OT, but Miles Austin, that missed tackle there by Maurice Liggett. Austin, second touchdown of the day, 10 catches, 250 yards. The Cowboys escape in Kansas City. Back to Ian and Rich.
Well, there's still clearly issues in Big D right now, despite the fact that the Cowboys are 3-2. Warner, play action. Open man Fitzgerald curls it upfield across the 25-yard line. Dante Robinson touches him up. And this Arizona offense is humming right now. 23-yard gain.
Just watch Larry Fitzgerald right at the top of the stem. Watch how he's able to transition in and out of the cut. The thing I really believe is going to be important for the Texans this week, tackling. There's a premium on tackling against these receivers. Fitzgerald and Quan Bolden, they are very, very good after the catch.
Kurt Warner is 7 of 8, 102 yards. And the one incompletion was the toss to Anquan Bolden. On the delay, Danny Wells tripped up by Pollard, got him down low. Gain of a yard, yard and a half.
Well, you look at the fact that neither team has had a lot of success being able to run the ball. Both teams, we talked with them over the weekend, they talk about having balance and symmetry in terms of their ability to not only throw the ball, both these teams have the ability to do that, but to be able to have some production in the running game to take some of the pressure off of both of these quarterbacks.
8th play of the drive, 4 receivers set. LaRod Stevens Howling is checked in, rookie out of Pittsburgh, and shifts out of the backfield from the gun. Warner in some trouble, throwing under pressure, finds Urban, and a flag down as Urban is brought down inside the 10. A 13-yard gain.
It's going to be holding.
Officials huddle up. Penalties so far. 2 called against Houston. Arizona yet to be charged with 1.
There is no foul for defensive holding as the receiver was actually contacted and knocked to the ground, not held. The play will result in a first down.
No harm, no foul.
Now, right now, a lot of harm against this Houston defense. Gary Kubiak's team cannot stop the Cardinals here in the early going. 2:50 and counting left in the first quarter. Arizona already has the 7-0 lead.
That's what I said was going to be important for this defense, to hang on early and give yourself a chance. Eliminate the explosive plays. Contain Fitzgerald and Bolden. You need to be really strong here in the red zone.
1st and goal inside the 10. Warner slant. Bolden loses the football. Big play for Houston defensively. D'Amico Ryans down the sideline and forced out of bounds. Oh, what a turn.
Well, that's a big hit in the secondary there. I think that might have been Eugene Wilson who delivered that shot. You know, this the staple throw in this offense, the 3-step slant. He puts it right on Anquan Bolden, but right there, Eugene Wilson, the free safety, delivers the blow, and there's D'Amico Ryans, the all-pro linebacker, to pick it up.
29-yard return. It looked like Arizona was going in for its 2nd touchdown of the day. And now Houston takes over with 2:24 to go in this first quarter. Texans have a 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Turnovers in the red zone have been a problem all season for Arizona.
And Ken Whisenhunt has thrown the red flag. Whisenhunt wants to challenge the call on the field. So Anquan Bolden coughed it up off the smack. Officials will take a look at it. We'll step aside with Arizona in front. Ken Whisenhunt, head coach of the Arizona Cardinals.
The play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver did catch the ball and then fumbled it after being hit, recovered by Houston. Arizona will be charged with their 2nd timeout.
So the challenge was whether or not Anquan Bolden had brought it in cleanly.
Yeah, I think it was the right call. You watch right here. Clearly he has it, and then right there, this hit, the ball starts coming out, and certainly the last hit right there by Eugene Wilson is the one that finally springs it loose. Talk about in tight spaces, taking care of the football. It's been a problem for this offense. They've had 3 turnovers now already this early in the season in the red zone.
On a handoff on 1st down, Steve Slayton. No gain on the play as Gerald Hayes is there to greet him. Gabe Watson combining to bring him down. Oh, we talked about the Cardinals turnovers. Hightower coughing it up against the Indianapolis Colts. Kurt Warner.
That ball in the back of the end zone. Again, not taking care of the football in that part of the field. Ball security so important. You think about the success that they've had here in Arizona, it's because they've taken care of the football.
Play fake, Shaw firing over the middle and complete to Andre Johnson. Just across midfield into Arizona territory. And a 21-yard hookup.
Boy, Andre Johnson is such a strong route runner. Look, always catches the ball so well away from his body. And the play-action game is a big part of what they do here in Houston. They run the ball so well, and then off of that comes the big shots down the field in the play-action game.
And Johnson's ability to get yards after the catch as well makes him one of the most explosive players in the game. And off on the toss for Slayton. Good angle for Slayton. Able to take the sideline and turn it upfield with Breisel and Winston leading the way on that right side. A 16-yard gain.
And this is the guy they have to find a way to get going. He has big play potential every time he touches the ball. He's second right now to Adrian Peterson with 15 rushes of 20 yards or more. That's the key for this offense. Get Slayton his touches, not only running, but he's a great screen runner as well.
Texans coming off a 29-6 win over Oakland. Slayton had a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. 3 receivers set. Dangerous Jacoby Jones is checked in. Little boot for Schaub, throwing against the grain and complete to Dreesen over the middle for a 4-yard pickup to the 30-yard line.
We don't think of Matt Schaub as a very nimble quarterback, but he's very good when he gets outside the pocket on the edge. He's very accurate throwing the ball on the move.
And we asked Schaub, what's changed over the course of this now being his 3rd year with Houston? He said his comfort level with these receivers, the nonverbal communication is very strong. He feels like he's really managing this offense. And right now, Houston in position to possibly put some points on the board. First quarter of play complete in Arizona. The Cardinals with a 7-0 lead. Second quarters have been the Texans' best quarter so far this season. They've scored 48 points in the second quarter, a combined 46 points in all of the other quarters. First play of this second quarter, Houston has it a 2nd and 6 from the 29 of Arizona. On the pitch, Slayton. And a little shake and bake move by Slayton. He's got a first down out near the 20-yard line. Chike O'Keefer chasing him down, an 8-yard pickup. Ian Eagle, Rich Gannon, the rest of our CBS crew with you here in Glendale, Arizona for the Cardinals and the Texans. First ever trip here into Phoenix for the Houston Texans. There's only one other city that the Texans have never played an NFL game in, and that's St. Louis. And they'll actually do that later this season on December the 20th. New set of downs for the Texans. 1st and 10 at the Arizona 21. Schaub in the pocket, pumping, throwing on a short ball to Slayton, and he's brought down out in the open field. Couldn't break free from Carlos Dansby, who's a tackling machine for this Arizona squad. 4.5-yard gain.
That's good to see by Matt Schaub. They take a shot on 1st and 10 in the red zone. They actually run double post where they run the tight end and the flanker to the post. It's not there, and he does the next best thing. He checks it down to Steve Slayton. Now you give your play caller an opportunity on 2nd and 5. You stay normal in the down and distance.
See what Houston has done in the red zone this season. This is the 7th play of the drive. Schaub back. Schaub timing pattern. Too high for Johnson. On a double move by Andre Johnson, covered by the former Steeler Bryant McFadden, who beat the Cardinals last year with the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Watch this, pretty good job by the corner recovering a perfect throw here. Gets it done. Matt Schaub, I watched this thing. He let the ball go just a tad bit early. You got to give Andre Johnson a chance in the back of the end zone.
3rd and 5 for the Texans. They trail the Cardinals 7-0. Just underway in the second quarter. Matt Ware is on as the nickelback for the Cardinals. From the gun. Schaub has time. Now flushed out. Schaub on the move. Throwing on the run. Incomplete. Calais Campbell was supplying the heat. And Matt Schaub had to throw it away. It's 4th down.
And Arizona did a nice job there. They're playing man coverage. You watch Matt Schaub. He had absolutely nowhere to throw the football. Good job communicating on the back end. You just watch him go through his progressions. He's looking to his left. He comes back to the right. You see right there, good coverage on the crossing route. Doing everything he can to give these receivers a chance, but that's just great coverage in the back end.
34-yard field goal for Chris Brown. It's blocked. Cardinals stonewall the Texans. Chris Brown has it blocked. 7-0 Arizona. Field goal was blocked by 6'8" Calais Campbell of the Arizona Cardinals. So Arizona holds on to the 7-0 lead. Tim Hightower met by Akobe.
Just keep an eye on Campbell right here. I mean, look at the effort. Look at the push they get up inside right there. But just watch him lead. Watch him leap. This guy should be playing basketball. That's a great job, good effort. It's a little plays like that that really make a difference.
Throwing on second down. It's complete to Anquan Bolden, who's buried short of the 30-yard line. Not surprising, Calais Campbell did play basketball in high school. A standout at South Aurora High School. Two-time All-State pick as a defensive end in football. Comes from an athletic family as well. Younger brother Jared, defensive back at Miami. Other brothers that played college football as well at Colorado State. 3rd and 7 now for the Cardinals. Jacques Reeves is now in there for Houston in the secondary. Warner throwing. He's got Hightower. Makes one man miss to Nico Ryans, but then took a shot from Glover Quinn. Boy, Quinn is a good tackler, rookie out of New Mexico, making plays here. It's a 2-yard gain, and Cardinals go 3 and out.
And we talked with Gary Kubiak last night about Glover Quinn, the rookie, as you said, the 4th-round pick. He is an exciting player to keep an eye on. I watched him last week. He had some tremendous hits in the open field. He's a very good tackler, very physical player at the corner.
So the Australian Ben Graham is on to punt it away. Jacoby Jones standing at his own 25-yard line. AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Returnable. Jones looking for blockers and brought down. Short of the 20-yard line. Michael Adams, first man down the field. A 6-yard return. 56-yard punt from Graham. Cardinals 7, Texans 0. Second quarter action continues. Last week, Houston Texans played well in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams. Forced 3 turnovers in the win over Oakland. They forced a turnover here today. Schaub in some trouble. On first down, able to find the open man, Vontae Leach, the fullback. And Leach working the sideline for a first down. Gerald Hayes over there. They've got similar body types. 20-yard gain for Leach. Adrian Wilson was the one that nearly came away with the sack on Shaw.
Steve Slayton, the one area he has gotten better as a pro is in terms of pass protection. You think of him as a great running back, very good in the receiving game, but he's become a better blocker, giving Matt Schaub time to set his feet there and make a good accurate throw.
Double tight end set. It's Daniels and Dreesen on a 1st and 10 from the 39 to the ground game. Slayton nowhere to go and no gain on the play. O'Keefer and Dansby collaborate to bring him down.
Well, Matt Schaub has had problems in the past when you get pressure on him early. Pressure up inside clearly seems to bother him. I think he has to do a better job dealing with and handling pressure, particularly early in games.
Matt Schaub, the question with him has been durability, whether or not he can stay healthy for the full season. Played 11 games last year for the Texans. MCL trouble. Schaub, short drop and a quick throw to Kevin Walter. And Walter a little bit short of the first down. 8-yard pickup. Ryan McFadden and Wilson there to bring him down. We'll talk about pressure with these guys, Warner and Schaub, having to deal with it.
And this graphic to me really was a surprise. I mean, you look at what they've been able to do when they're able to set their feet and make good accurate throws, but under pressure, you'd expect more, particularly from a guy like Warner, who's a Pro Bowl player. But Matt Schaub, that's an area where he has to improve as well.
Dime package here for Arizona. 3rd and short for the Texans. Schaub throwing. The quick strike, incomplete. Andre Johnson unable to hold on to it. And the Texan drive stalls.
And this is not something you normally see from Andre Johnson. He catches the ball so well with his hands. He's trying to pull that one in. And Bryant McFadden was right there to make the hit. But You expect Andre Johnson to make that play.
Yeah, may have heard footsteps from McFadden, who was hovering in the area. Matt Turk will punt it. And Steve Breston standing at his own 10-yard line waiting. Arizona 7, Texans nothing. 9:35 to go in this first half. And Breston tried to move forward after the catch and didn't have any room to work with. Andre Davis getting down the field in a hurry. 38-yard punt, a 2-yard return. John Cricky and Beasley Reese had the call here on CBS, celebrating 50 years of covering the NFL. 1998, Chris Jackson, 52-yard field goal to send Arizona to the playoffs. 7-0, Cardinals leading the Texans here in the second quarter on a gift of Beanie Wells. And Wells has stacked up Tim Bowman, first man there. It's a 2-yard gain for the rookie.
You know, I think it's important to keep in mind that you look at this football team, Ian, and the way they've started this season. I'm talking about Arizona. This wasn't a 12-4 or 13-3 team a year ago, but rather a 9-7 team. I think you can lose sight of that. I think they have a lot of work ahead of them. They need to understand it's a different team, a number of different coaches in different roles, new players. You can't duplicate what happened a year ago.
They've actually lost 6 of their last 9 regular season games. They were 6-0 in the division last season. Here's Warner, pumping, throwing. Oh, what a strike! Steve Breston took a shot from Bernard Pollard, and it's a first down for Arizona. 19-yard pass play.
Right. What a great job fitting this into the tight spaces. Watch double coverage. They're playing a 2-deep zone, and he throws that ball right in between the corner and the safety, Bernard Pollard. And that's what you get with a guy like Kurt Warner. He can fit the ball into some very tight spaces on the boundary.
And Warner right now, Rich, is 12 of 13, 148 yards through the air. Beanie Wells. Direct snap to the running back, Chris Beanie Wells. He picks up 2 yards in their version of the Wildcat. Jeff Scanina making the stop. Scanina is 39 years old. Beanie Wells, 21 years old.
Well, I think you'll see more of Beanie Wells as the season progresses. Certainly ball security was a problem. He put 2 on the ground week 2 against Jacksonville. Ball security, taking care of the ball. And the other thing, pass protection. There's a lot of responsibility when you're this lone back in this Arizona offense.
On a 2nd and 8, handoff, Hightower trying to cut it to the outside. Good pursuit there from Houston. D'Amico Ryans leading that charge for the Texans and limiting Hightower, who lost his hat, to a gain of 1. And coming up, the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher. The latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Second half of our NFL doubleheader. And some drama in the first set of games. Cincinnati again going right down to the wire. Big victory over Baltimore.
That was good to see for Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator who lost his wife earlier in the week. So very emotional win for the Bengals.
And our thoughts certainly with the Zimmer family. Warner from the gun. Incomplete. LaRod Stevens-Howling, the intended receiver for Arizona.
A good job by that Texans defensive line. You see Mario Williams right there. He's becoming a complete player in this league. I think he's better at playing the run, but he's still a very explosive rusher off the edge.
Yep, and the defensive coordinator Frank Bush telling us that Williams really studies his opponents now. Strong attention to detail. He was getting by on his pure ability through the first 3 years of his career.
Yeah, he's starting to figure out how to become a professional.
Ben Graham, the punt. Gets that funky Australian spin on the ball. Jacoby Jones.
Here's a guy you have to find a way to wrap up.
And Jones is wrapped up short of the 20-yard line by Sean Morey. Excellent special teams player. 48-yard punt and an 8-yard return for Jones. Warner and the Cardinals with a 7-0 lead over Houston. Second quarter. University of Phoenix Stadium.
There's Adrian Wilson. To see him every snap if you're Matt Schaub.
And Steve Slayton is unable to get untracked here today. Carlos Dansby over there defensively. And so far, this is what the Houston Texans have done on offense. The one scoring opportunity, a blocked field goal.
Yeah, and we talked with Matt Schaub last night, and he told us, he said, we got to start fast. We have to keep up with this Arizona offense. When we get down in the red zone, we have to score touchdowns. We can't settle for field goals.
And their offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, the name sounds familiar. Son of Mike Shanahan, former head coach of the Denver Broncos. Houston in a 7-0 hole. 5:50 to go. First half. Schaub, short drop, and puts it up for Andre Johnson. Able to haul this one in cleanly for a 7-yard pickup. Matched up with Dominique Cromartie-Rogers, second year out of Tennessee State.
That's a pretty good job right there. A good tackle in the open field. That's the thing, tackling these receivers. Guys like Andre Johnson, and certainly on the other side of the ball, Larry Fitzgerald and Quan Bolden, not an easy task.
And Rogers Cromartie, tremendous athlete. Last year, the number 16 pick overall. Some growing pains, though, here in year 2. Schaub on a give. And Slayton running into a crowd. No gain on the play. And no first down for the Texans.
And see, that's a killer right there. You get a shot like that, a 4th and 1, and a 3rd and 1, you can't convert, and now you're forced to punt. These opportunities on the road, you have to find a way to close the door.
Just no push from the interior of this offensive line.
You think about all the time that's spent during the week in short yardage and goal line situations. They're critical. They're critical to the success of any football team.
And the 4th punt of the day for Matt Turk. End over end, Preston from the 32. Spinning out of trouble initially, and then an avalanche coming his way in the form of blue jerseys. Dominique Barber among those down there to make the play. A 41-yard punt. Everybody talked about a shootout. Hasn't been the case here. 7-0. Arizona Cardinals at 1-2. The Houston Texans 2-2. Arizona with a 7-0 lead over Houston. 4:19 to go in this first half. And the Cardinals take over a 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Hightower, single setback. Warner, short drop, and the ball got knocked down. Okoye there to deflect it away. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals. Watch Fantasy Football today to get the last-minute news and analysis that you need to set your fantasy league lineup live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, only on CBSSports.com. Warner now 12 of 15, 148 yards, had 332 yards in a losing effort against Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago. 3 receivers set, Fitzgerald, Preston, and Bolden. Warner underneath, Fitzgerald creating after the catch, and a first down. Tim Bowman, former Arizona Cardinal, making the play, an 11-yard gain for Fitzgerald through the air.
Well, the old college screen, in a way, the reason why this works so well is you have guys like Senline and Latui that can get out in front of a guy like Larry Fitzgerald. And all you want to do is find ways to get your playmakers the ball in space and let them go to work. Larry Fitzgerald, very good, great vision in the open field.
7 catches for 76 yards in that game against Indianapolis. I don't know if the frustration has been building a bit because this offense just has not been able to get it going like they were accustomed to. Warner forced to throw it away as flags come down.
Boy, that was a great job by Tim Bowman getting a push up in the middle there. Kurt Warner had no chance to set his feet.
Bowman in his 3rd year from Boston College. Got a high motor.
Do a good job rotating players through that defensive line to consistently keep them fresh throughout the game.
There is no foul for intentional grounding as receiver was in the area. Holding, offense, number 63, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down. And
that's Senline, another one of those young offensive linemen for the Arizona Cardinals in his 3rd season from Texas. In fact, best friends with Casey Studdard, starting offensive lineman for the Houston Texans, going back to their collegiate days. Both won a national title, in fact, for the Longhorns. Fitzgerald, 3 catches today, 44 yards. This is a 4-receiver set for Arizona. They put up 191 yards of offense, only have 7 points to show for it. Warner able to gun it to the perimeter, and Jeremy Irvin turns it upfield for a 12-yard gain. Bryce McCain touching him up.
Well, the thing you know about Kurt Warner, he doesn't discriminate. 9 different players have caught a pass in each of the last 2 games. He does a great job mixing it up. Good job seeing out in front of throws, and that's what you'd expect from a player like Kurt Warner.
Shotgun formation here for Warner on a 2nd down and 8. Got back most of the yardage from the penalty. Warner complete. Anquan Bolden. Bolden gets the tough extra yards after the catch. And a 1st down for Arizona. That one covers 11.
And we talked about this Houston secondary. It's a group, in my opinion, that's in transition. 3 new starters last week versus Oakland. 2 because of performance. And this week, the 5th straight week where they've had a different lineup in the secondary. You're always talking about consistency. I think when you're continuing to change players in and out, it makes it very difficult to have any real cohesion.
It's a new set of downs for the Cardinals. 1st and 10 at the 43 of Houston. Take the handoff. Warner in the pocket. Plenty of time. Finds the open man, Preston. Down to the 20-yard line. A 22-yard pass and catch.
Boy, it's all about illusion and disguise. And what they're going to do is they're going to run Larry Fitzgerald right down through the middle of the field and keep an eye on Preston. He's going to come working right across in the opening. They bring Bolden around on the reverse. Look at the wide open area for Bolden.
2-minute warning here in Arizona.
Here we go, here we go.
2 minutes to play, 2nd quarter. Arizona with a 7-0 lead over Houston. The Cardinals are driving. Jacques Reeves making his season debut. Had surgery on a dislocated pinky. He's in there for Houston. Hand off to Beanie Wells, and Wells looking for extra yardage up the middle. Sean Cody cutting him down low. It's a 4-yard gain for Wells, and a timeout taken by Houston with 1:55 to play in this 2nd quarter. Kurt Warner is 16 of 19 for 205 yards in this 1st half. Well, coming up tonight here on CBS, it's another edition of The Amazing Race. It's a new episode tonight after 60 minutes only on CBS. So Arizona will face a 2nd and 6. And when we sat down with Kurt Warner, I asked him really what's been going on with the offense. Warner was very upfront and direct. It just felt like the team has not communicated all that well.
I think they're trying to be perfect. That's what he said. They're doing too much, and they're all taking turns making mistakes. That was something they tried to clean up during the bye week.
Forcing things a bit, trying to live up to 2008. Here's Warner. Hit as he throws, incomplete. And a flag comes down. Bolden in a matchup with Reeves.
And Reeves was hanging on the whole way. Anquan Bolden is a handful. Look at these receivers. Look how big and strong they are. They're very difficult to cover one-on-one.
Pass interference, defense, number 35. Automatic 1st down.
And a lot of times you have a smaller corner against a bigger receiver, and they panic. You just watch there. He's hanging on. He's got his left arm pulling. He's starting to pull. Anquan Bolden, you just got to be smart, particularly in this part of the field.
Now Jacques Reeves, broken fibula in training camp. Surgery, dislocated pinky. Reeves back in there. 6th year out of Purdue, former Dallas Cowboy. It's an 8-yard penalty. 1st and goal. Cardinals. Warner.
Boy, great protection.
And touchdown, Larry Fitzgerald.
You know, it's amazing when you take extra time during the course of the week to clean up an area. Pass protection was a problem. Look at all the time Kurt Warner has. He's got time to look to his left, back to his right. You get to give a lot of credit to this offensive line. Look at Larry Fitzgerald. He works all the way back across the back of the end zone. Dante Robinson can't hold on. Great job by this Arizona offense.
7 plays, 68 yards. Fitzgerald with his 3rd touchdown of the season. Neil Rackers on for the extra point. So Houston came up with a turnover with Arizona driving in the 1st quarter. to keep it a 7-0 game. Now the Cardinals get that touchdown on the board, and they lead it 14-0 over the Texans. Warner putting up huge numbers in this first half. Kurt Warner, the 9-yard touchdown to Larry Fitzgerald. Warner 5 of 6 on that drive.
I said earlier, if you don't get pressure on Kurt Warner early, you allow him to get on a roll, he can really hurt you. He can light you up. And he's just playing with a lot of confidence right now. 17 of 20, as you said, for 214 yards and a touchdown. They got to find a way to slow down Kurt Warner.
Neil Rackers kicking it off to Andre Davis. And he'll take a knee. Texans will have a minute 44 to work with from their 20-yard line. And coming up tomorrow on CBS, when the most wanted man in Miami is murdered, the CSI team sets out to find his killer and his hidden treasure. A new CSI Miami, that's tomorrow on CBS, America's most watched network. The Houston Texans, nothing really stands out from this first half offensively.
Well, their inability to convert third downs, Ian, has been a big problem. 0 for 5 today. Last week, just 3 of 16 in the win over Oakland. They got to find a way to convert some third downs to keep these drives alive.
On first down from the gun, Shaw throwing. That catch made by Jacoby Jones, and he's forced out of bounds. Short of the 25-yard line, so a modest gain of 4 yards. Ware and Wilson combined. A minute 37 left in this first half.
There's a lot of weapons at Matt Schaub's disposal. You think about, they have a great wide receiver in Andre Johnson, an elite wide receiver, a very productive tight end with Owen Daniels, and certainly a phenomenally talented back in Steve Slayton.
2nd and 6. Shaw. Sideline route knocked away. Brian McFadden. Andre Johnson, the intended target.
Well, it's a really good job by Brian McFadden. Pretty good route. You got to keep coming back, though. Andre Johnson, you know that the corner, Brian McFadden, is going to keep driving on that throw. Good alert play in the open field by Brian McFadden. You know, this is a secondary. You know, you consider the personnel. They've really been victimized with some big plays, but it's a good secondary. Now they need to start playing like it.
Certainly some big names on that back line. 3rd and 6 for the Texans. Shaw out of the pocket, on the move, and forced to throw it away.
And they're not beating man-to-man coverage. And that's twice now on third down. They're 0 for 6 on third downs. I don't know if they're calling some zone beaters on third down and they're getting full with man-to-man coverage, but they're not able to defeat this man coverage that they're seeing from the Cardinals defense.
Dockett and O'Keefer supplying the heat on Matt Schaub. And now Matt Turk will punt it. And Arizona's got plenty of time. Flagged out. Play is whistled dead.
False start. Offense, number 41. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
So with a minute 20 to play, back it up.
Yeah, too many punts today for this Houston offense. You see Matt Schaub over there on the sidelines talking to a slot receiver, David Anderson. You got to defeat man-to-man coverage. And that's something these receivers get excited about. Big opportunities in the passing game if you can beat one-on-one.
Turk to punt it again. Short punt from Turk.
Oh, not a very good punt. Jeez, man.
And it remains in Houston territory. Arizona's going to get the football with a minute 14 on the clock after the 29-yard punt for Turk.
But Tony Romo was able to pull one out today, huh? And a big win in Kansas City.
Overtime for the Dallas Cowboys. Dante Culpepper getting the start for Detroit, but the Lions fall short.
Boy, Cedric Benson has made such a difference for that Bengals offense.
And the return of Jamal Lewis. Cleveland gets the win over Buffalo.
What a big catch by Miles Austin at the end, huh?
250 yards receiving for Austin. No Roy Williams, no problem.
No
Dallas.
And no T.O.
Tim Hightower in the backfield. Warner throwing. And complete to Irvin. And across the 40-yard line.
Well, you just know that punt is going to cost Houston some points. You give Kurt Warner this type of field position and some time left here in the first half, he's going to make you pay.
And a 10-yard gain. And 52 seconds left. Warner from the shotgun. He's got Bolden. Anquan Bolden. Well, that's not even fair.
And you can just see right now that he is in complete control. He's in great rhythm. They're very good, obviously, in these no-huddle situations, these 2-minute situations. And a lot of experience there at the quarterback position.
Bolden had a mismatch, and Warner able to find him to make a man miss. Warner throwing, end zone, touchdown! Larry Fitzgerald. You can't do it any better.
And that's tight coverage there on the boundary, and boy, they're really going after these safeties. And Bernard Pollard, this strong safety position has been an unsettled position for the Texans. It's the third different starter that they've had. And you see Bernard Pollard takes a poor angle right at the top.
Second touchdown of the day, Warner to Fitzgerald. Kurt Warner is 20 of 23, 262 yards, and a pair of touchdowns in the first half.
You know, Ryan, in 112 career games, Kurt Warner has thrown for 300 or more yards in 44% of those games.
Extra point from Neil Rackers. If he goes over 300, it will be career number 50 for Kurt Warner. What a clinic. 3 plays, bang, bang, bang. Well, wait till you find out what Charlie's brother is doing to earn some extra money tomorrow on a brand new 2.5 Men right here on CBS, America's most watched network.
When you talk about the day that Kurt Warner has had, he's 20 of 23. It's 87% of his passes. And we mentioned just week 2, he set an NFL record for highest completion percentage in a game. This guy, when he gets on a roll, he can be difficult.
Well, QB rating, which I'm not sure everybody fully understands what goes into the quarterback rating. Just know this. Those 3 are ridiculously impressive in terms of their numbers.
I would say that is an elite group, to say the least. Hey, he is a phenomenal player. You know, he's a guy that it hasn't always come easy to him, but he's always hung in there and battled, and he's really, every team that he's played for, he's given him an opportunity to be in games in the fourth quarter.
Neil Rackers kicking it off. Andre Davis, the return man. And Davis thrown down at the 20-yard line.
You just go back and look at the touchdown. You know, we talk about how important protection is. You're going to see Larry Fitzgerald right down here at the bottom of your screen. He's just going to go up to the corner and watch the safeties. Well, you have to take good angles. It's a high-low read. The safety's right in position, and he tries to undercut it. But you can't allow Kurt Warner to fit one in there on the boundary to Larry Fitzgerald.
Is there any doubt in your mind Kurt Warner is a Hall of Famer?
Not at all. A 2-time MVP, a Super Bowl MVP. Look at his career numbers, Ian. I mean, 186 touchdowns, a quarterback rating of 93.8, almost 30,000 yards passing, 65% completion. Clearly a Hall of Famer.
14 seconds left. Set up the screen for Slayton. And Steve Slayton brought down in the open field by Matt Ware, who's returning from a shoulder injury. Missed 2 games. It's a 3-yard gain, and that's how this first half will end. Warner and the Cardinals with a 21-0 lead over the Houston Texans. We'll come back with a Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 44.
Find a way to slow down Kurt Warner. They have to get off the field on 3rd down. They've given the Arizona Cardinals way too many opportunities. And look at the explosive plays of 20 yards or more, 5 for the Cardinals. That's something that has to make defensive coordinator Frank Bush sick.
And Arizona will get the football to start this 3rd quarter. Chris Brown kicking it off. And Jason Wright on the return. Spun around as he crossed the 30-yard line. An 18-yard return for Wright, the former Cleveland Brown and Atlanta Falcon.
And I told you, Larry Fitzgerald, I told you Kurt Warner does not discriminate. Look at the distribution to all those receivers, Ian, there. And Right now, it's important for this secondary for Houston. And I said before, this is the 5th straight week now that they've had a different starting unit back there. So not a lot of consistency right back there or continuity. They have to get that straightened out here in the second half.
Fitzgerald, 3 1,000-yard seasons in his career, 3-time Pro Bowler each of the last 2 years, and prior to that in 2005. Arizona looking to break this game wide open. They've got a 21-0 lead. Just underway, second half. Warner moving pocket and able to hit his target, Steve Breston, for a short gain on first down. 3 yards.
Well, I've really been impressed with Steve Breston. You know, so much of the focus here in Arizona is on Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden, but in my opinion, Steve Breston is quietly becoming an elite receiver in the game. And as I said, he had 1,000 yards, 1,006 last year receiving, and causes a lot of problems across the middle of the field for a lot of these defenses.
2nd and 7 here for the Cardinals. Hightower in the backfield. Motion man is Bolden. Looking to throw it. Warner, safety valve is Kreider, and the fullback drops the football. What about the adjustment, Kurt Warner, to a new play caller? And it's the head coach. It's Ken Wisenhunt. We know Wisenhunt was very successful calling plays in Pittsburgh. Todd Haley now the head coach with Kansas City. How has that dynamic changed for Warner?
Well, I think it certainly has been different without Todd Haley. You think about the amount of time they spent together in meetings and out of practice. I think that's the challenge right now for Wisenhunt and for Kurt Warner, to get that comfort level. And it's a process. It takes a while, but I think certainly the bye week has helped.
Twice as many pass plays compared to running plays so far. Warner under pressure. Set it up for Hightower, and Hightower is brought down, spun down at the 35. A loss of 1. D'Amico Ryans with a tackle, and the Cardinals will punt it.
And that's what this defense needed. The defense needed a stop here early, and now you have to hope that this Texans offense, you get a good return, this Texans offense can get something going.
So Ben Graham on, and Jacoby Jones standing at his own 20-yard line.
When you're struggling right now, sometimes a big play in the kicking game, a big return, can really jumpstart your offense.
Well, he's been able to jumpstart the Texans. Gary Kubiak telling us it's nice to show up on Sundays knowing your special teams could win you a football game now, and that's what Jones has done. He's a difference maker.
Well, he's one of the elite returners in the game. The AFC, as you said, special teams player of the week last week against the Raiders, and he can really break open a game.
Has 3 career return touchdowns in his 3rd year from Lane College, and has room to work with. Jones.
Here comes that wall.
Turning the corner. Down the sideline, Jacoby Jones staying on his feet and finally tracked down. Calais Campbell making a touchdown-saving tackle on special teams. It's a 62-yard return.
Look how he just pauses and he waits for that wall to set up. You're going to see a big block here right on the right side, right there. And that was really the one that sprung him. But watch Campbell come into your picture right here. Now keep in mind, earlier in the game, Ian, he had that block. He had that block field goal. Boy, good punt, good hang time. You can see the coverage units right here. Look at the wall start to form. He does a great job setting up. There's the big block right there. Jock Reeves makes the big block that springs Jacoby Jones.
So 1st and 10 for Houston at the 31 of Arizona. Texans needed something to get them going. Shaw throwing on first down to Kevin Walter and extending his body out near the 20-yard line. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie making that play. Jacoby Jones last week on a free kick after the safety, Shane Leckler. It will go down as a kickoff return for a touchdown, 95 yards. Jacoby Jones. And a little dance at the end of the play. 2nd and 1 for Houston. Handoff, Slayton, spin move. And Slayton will be gang tackled, led by Darnell Dockett. And no gain on the play, at least on the initial glimpse.
Well, Steve Slayton, you know, a guy that hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities early in this game, but a guy that when he runs, he has great balance. You can see him there in that spin, and always seems to be falling forward at the end of runs.
Well, we've talked about it all day. Houston on third downs. They are 0 of 6 this afternoon. This is a 3rd and 1 for the Texans. Sleep. They need a yard.
Oh, I think he's short. It makes no difference, though. Obviously, in 4-down territory, you know that Gary Kubiak and this staff will go for it on 4th down.
Robinson, Dansby, among those over there for Arizona, and it will be a 4th and 1.
Sometimes penetration absolutely kills you in short yardage runs. Right there, you got good penetration by that Arizona defensive line.
On 4th down, trying to keep this drive alive. Schaub straight back. Schaub looking for it all. End zone, incomplete. Into double coverage. Andre Johnson, the intended receiver, and the Houston Texans have nothing to show for it. 21-0, Arizona. Immediately after the incomplete pass, what's going on here, Rich?
Not happy with the decision from Matt Schaub. It's clearly some communication issues there between Gary and the quarterback.
On a quick throw, tried the slant to Anquan Bolden, loose football, and it's ruled incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Arizona. What'd you think of the call from Houston on 4th down?
You know, I didn't like it. I think that when you take 2 shots on a short yardage situation, when you need a yard, you throw. If you're going to throw it or run it on 3rd down, I think you come right back and try and run it again on 4th down. They took a shot, it wasn't there. I think the frustration from Gary Kubiak was that Matt Schaub didn't look underneath. Clearly, Andre Johnson was not open on the go route, so they should have worked back underneath. So I think that's where the frustration lies with Gary Kubiak.
Schaub hasn't made any kind of big mistake today, but he also hasn't made any big plays.
Yeah, they can't convert on 3rd down right now. It's a big problem for this football team.
They're sprint out for Bolden. And Anquan Bolden hit by D'Amico Ryans. 8 or 9 yard gain, depending on the spot for Arizona.
I mentioned earlier in the game, this is a multi-dimensional attack. They have so many different ways to attack you. They kick the ball out wide. They have the wide screens. They have the screens to the back. They throw it down the field, the big shots, the 3-step game, the intermediate throws. And right now, Kurt Warner is in a groove.
6 catches, 63 yards for Bolden, 3-time Pro Bowler himself. We'll call it 3rd and 1. Warner converts in stride. Larry Fitzgerald and a penalty marker down.
Well, you know what they're going to do there? They're going to bring that one back. They're going to call this on Stevens Howling for blocking before the throw.
Pass interference, offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
No, I don't think so.
Well, Anthony Beck saying, are you kidding me? That wasn't me. A big sports fan, senator from the state of Arizona, John McCain in attendance. We'll see him at NBA games and enjoying a little pie.
Yeah, the great senator from Arizona, as you said, a guy that loves sports, loves football, and we know he loves the Cardinals.
And apparently loves coffee as well. Our director Chris Svensson saw him downstairs just outside our hotel this morning.
That's right. He's getting around town.
Having a cup of Joe. 3rd and 11. Warner in trouble and able to get rid of the football. Antonio Smith, one of Warner's very close friends, applying the heat. And Warner upset at himself and upset at that previous call, which nullified a 1st down and a long gainer to Fitzgerald.
He's been spoiled. The protection has been absolutely wonderful the first half, and now here early in the 3rd quarter, Antonio Smith able to make a play and knock Warner to the ground.
And Jacoby Jones, see if he caught his breath, standing at his own 27-yard line. And a flag is down before Graham even released the punt. 9:38 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
False start, offense, number 27. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Just to pay off that comment about Kurt Warner eyeing in the protection, I really felt like earlier in the year he was taking way too many hits. I think the hits and the hurries and the sacks certainly begin to take their toll. And how important is pass protection? Well, he was not sacked in their only victory of the season, and he was sacked 7 times in the 2 losses. So pass protection, protecting your Pro Bowl quarterback, critical.
And Graham the punt. Jones, fair catch as the coverage down the field was there for Arizona. Michael Adams. Houston Texans just looking to get something going on offense. They trailed 21-0. Well, offensively, this team has put up 308 yards of offense, 21 points. Houston Texans are yet to convert a 3rd down, 0 of 7. Schaub hit as he throws, and the ball floating to Owen Daniels as Higgins was able to knock it free. 3-yard pickup, make it 4 on that spot, just short of the 40-yard line.
You see Clark Higgins right there at the bottom of your screen going up against Eric Winston. He just beats him to the edge. It's a nice job with that left arm, getting it in there just as Matt Schaub is beginning to follow through on that throw. And Clark Higgins healthy again. He missed a lot of last season with that foot injury, making a big difference for the Cardinals.
Chris Brown is now on the field, double tight end set. Schaub straight back. Sets and fires over the middle. Tough catch. Andre Johnson. And a 1st down into Arizona territory.
This is a good job sitting in there strong. They bring pressure right up the middle. They pick it up. Good job by the back. That Schaub sits in there, makes a good, accurate throw to Andre Johnson. And Andre Johnson, he does a great job, as I said earlier, catching the ball away from his body, but he's not afraid to leave his feet and throw his body around in traffic.
Casey Studdard is back in there, rotating left guards today between Studdard and Chris White. Play action. Shaw. Sideline route and complete to Kevin Walter. So some signs of life here for this Houston offense.
And this is where they're really good, Ian, when they're able to run the ball into the play action game. You see the good fake there by Chris Brown. Matt Schaub, plenty of time to set his feet and make a good, accurate throw to Kevin Walter. Little double move comeback on the boundary.
Line of scrimmage is now to 29. Brown is in there, not Steve Slayton for Houston. Slayton has been held to 38 yards on 10 carries today. Movement.
Might be on Gabe Watson, the nose tackle.
Big number 98. And that's the initial indication.
Encroachment, defense number 98. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
I always say there's no excuse for that. You're lined up right over the center. Chris Myers, you're watching the ball. Probably a good job there by Matt Schaub with a hard count. You got to do something to slow down this Arizona pass rush.
4 penalties called against Arizona, costing the Cardinals 30 yards. 4 penalties called against Houston. Quick count. Schaub in trouble. Gets out of it and slides down short of the 20-yard line. Alan Branch, who has come on, he's found a niche for this Arizona defense, applying the pressure, but could not sack Schaub. It's a 3-yard gain.
Looks like he was fooled right here with the coverage. He's late, does a nice job pulling it down. Now, this is not something he's known for, but a good job protecting the ball and protecting himself.
So a 2nd and 2 now after the penalty and the 3-yard scramble. Under 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Daniels in motion for Houston. Brown gets the call and leans forward across the 20. Brian McFadden helping in run support. Very close to a 1st down for the Texans.
We talk about the bye week and what we've already talked about, what Arizona did offensively, but defensively, it wasn't so much the mental mistakes, they said, as it was the physical mistakes. The poor angles in the secondary, the poor run fits, just bad tackling. We see that they cleaned a lot of that up here today.
Their defensive coordinator, Bill Davis, looking for a stand here. Empty backfield, now a shift on a 3rd and 1, and Schaub's going to do it himself. First 3rd down conversion of the day for the Houston Texans. Now 1 of 8.
Yeah, some of the numbers haven't even been that large on 3rd down. They just have not been able to complete any throws, and I think they've called a couple routes where they were anticipating one coverage and they got something completely different. I think there's been some confusion there, but you have to be able to convert your routes based on the type of coverage, whether it's man or zone.
Houston Texans 10-6 over their last 16 games. That's the best 16-game stretch in team history. Trying to move above the 500 mark. They're at 2-2. Play fake. Schaub. Look at the time. Schaub throws it underneath Chris Brown and dives forward out across the 10-yard line. It all depends on the spot here as to whether or not this will be a 1st and goal or a 2nd and short. Gerald Hayes will be given credit for the tackle.
And that's a good decision by Matt Schaub. They called a play action throw down the field. They kept 7 players in the block, and Arizona winds up dropping 8 in coverage. So there's nowhere to throw the ball down the field. The next best thing, check it down to your back, Chris Brown, and let him go to work.
2nd down, less than a yard. Texans are inside the 10. Fake the handoff. Schaub on a rollout. Looking. Throws out across the middle. And the catch is made by Daniels. Flags come down. It's enough for a 1st down. Penalty markers on the play. 4:50 left on the clock here in the 3rd quarter.
Boy, Texans are desperate. They need to find a way to get a touchdown here to get themselves back in this game. And Matt Schaub, you realize this is 4-down territory. Can't imagine that Gary Kubiak would settle for a field goal in this situation, in this drive.
Illegal contact, defense and middle linebacker. This penalty be assessed half of this is the goal, automatic 1st down.
Well, the problem with that is that the Cardinals have 2 middle linebackers. They play a 3-4 defense. It was either Gerald Hayes or Carlos Dansby.
Well, that was a long discussion by the officials to come up with that call. It's 1st and goal inside the 5 for Houston.
And remember, Ryan, early in the game, they were unable to convert a 3rd and a 4th and 1. You have to be able to run the ball down in this part of the field. Good red zone teams can run the ball down here.
Slayton in the backfield. Schaub to throw. Schaub looking. High throw. And it's over the head of Johnson in the corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Roll back there defensively. The former corner now playing safety for the Cardinals.
And this is twice now where we've seen him miss these throws high in the back of the corner. You have to give a player like Andre Johnson, you see the frustration on his face, you have to give him a chance to go up and make a play back in the back corner of that end zone.
2nd and goal for the Texans.
Here comes pressure.
Running play. Slayton slicing through. And Steve Slayton right at the goal line. 3-yard gain. 3rd and goal coming up for the Texans as Campbell and McFadden combine on the stop.
Now, remember the last scenario we had the 3rd and 1. They ran it on 3rd down, and they took a shot on 4th down. You know they got 2 shots here. I think you run it twice in this situation. Got to find a way to make a half a yard. You got to tell that big group up front, that big offensive line, to get some movement, and let's find a way to get it into the end zone.
Ball is spotted just inside the 1. 10th play of the drive. Houston looking for his first points of the day. Handoff, Chris Brown trying to plow his way forward. He's in. Touchdown, Texans.
I think you have to send a message to that offensive line that what happened in the last drive was unacceptable. We have to be a good short yardage and goal line football team. The way you do that is by running the ball with some power right down the middle.
And first touchdown of the season for the former Tennessee Titan, Chris Brown. 10 plays, 64 yards. It's one of the bigger backs at 6'3" in the National Football League.
Yeah, they get Chris Brown in there, they get Steve Slayton out of there, and they get the bigger back to do the dirty work.
And another Chris Brown adds the extra point. Different spelling on the first name. 21-7 Arizona. 3:39 to go in the 3rd quarter. We're coming back in a moment. 1-yard touchdown run for Chris Brown, who spent the 2008 season on injured reserve for the Texans. Former 1,000-yard rusher with the Titans. And the other Chris Brown kicking off to Stevens Howling. And he gets stood up shy of the 20-yard line. So Arizona still with the lead, 21-7, but the Texans feel like they're in it late in the third quarter. University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale, Arizona. Cardinals 21, Texans 7, late stages, third quarter.
Kurt Warner, he sees the front, probably had a run call, doesn't like it. He's able to change the play at the line of scrimmage.
Warner changes it to a successful play. Anthony Beck gets toppled over. Tight end formerly with the Jets, Tampa Bay, and the St. Louis Rams. A 4-yard pickup. Bernard Pollard over there to make the play for Houston.
And that's what Kurt Warner gives you. He has the experience and the wisdom and the knowledge at the line of scrimmage, the ability to get out of a bad play and into a better one. And I think as a play caller, you really appreciate that. You can't always guess right with the call, but when you have a guy like Kurt Warner under center, he can do a lot of good things for you.
Call it a 2nd and 7 here for Arizona.
Changing it again now. You see a lot of movement here. A lot of movement by that Texan secondary.
Warner to throw, sets, fires, knocked away. Jock Reeves against Steve Breston. It'll be 3rd down for the Cardinals. Can't get enough fantasy football? Play NFL.com's Fantasy Challenge Games Playbook Challenge, where every yard equals a point. Or Touchdown Challenge. Start a touchdown streak today only at NFL.com/fantasy.
This Texans defense really struggled in the first half, but they're playing better here early in the third quarter.
Cardinals offense has hit a bit of a lull.
Still feel they have to be able to run the ball. Don't even try and run it.
Rush coming. Warner gets rid of it. 1-on-1. Anquan Bolden. He put it upstairs for Bolden, operating against Jock Reeves, and Bolden takes the matchup and a 1st down.
And this is just great confidence in the receiver. You just watch this throw by Kurt Warner. It's good coverage by Reeves, but just watch. He just throws it up knowing that Anquan Bolden will go up and get it. And if you're going to play quarterback in this league, you have to sit in there with a tough jaw and be willing to take the hits. Kurt Warner has shown that he'll do that throughout his career.
Kurt Warner, 296 yards through the air. Handoff, Beanie Wells keeps the legs churning. And Wells picking up positive yardage as he crosses the 45-yard line. Zach Dials with a hit, 6-yard pickup for Wells, the Akron, Ohio native.
This is what I think they really need to be able to do more of, is run the football with some consistency and some production. Not a lot of success today, not a lot of opportunities for either of these backs, but just 41 yards on the ground rushing. That's not enough against a defense that has been victimized by the run.
On a 2nd and 4 now for Arizona. Wells stays in the game. Warner to throw it. Fitzgerald can't hold on to it. Dante Robinson, nice recovery. Able to make the play for Houston.
We talk about a back shoulder throw. This is going to be thrown behind him by design. They work on this a lot in practice. A good job, though, by Robinson. And watch him just pull it out there at the end. Good concentration on the boundary there. And boy, guy Dante Robinson, who missed, as you know, most of the offseason program and most of training camp, came in the first week of the season, and he has been a steady performer for them throughout the first 5 weeks of the season.
Had that serious knee injury in 2007, 11 games in 2008, given the franchise tag. Warner on 3rd down. Pocket is collapsing. Warner in trouble and sacked. The Texans, only 5 sacks this season coming into action today. Brian Cushing got him down low, and what a rookie season he is having out of USC.
You just watch the pressure up inside. You see Kurt Warner, you see Cushing up the edge. He tries to step up back inside, but the rookie Brian Cushing there does a nice job just holding on till the rest of his teammates can pile on.
Okoye came over to help. Cushing got him by the ankles. And Arizona is forced to punt with a 21-7 lead, 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. Graham gets rid of it. Jones from the 16. Could not find the running lane. And Mike Leach, the snapper, down the field to help make the play. 43-yard punt. More third quarter action when we come back to Arizona. The door is open here for the Houston Texans. They trail 21-7, but their defense has looked strong in this second half. Offense takes over. Schaub floats one upstairs for Owen Daniels, who's brought down out across midfield. They've got excellent chemistry. Schaub and Daniels. It covers 27 yards.
You see Owen Daniels right here on the top of your screen. Just a little corner route. They do a nice job with the receiver on the outside lane. Jacoby Jones clearing it out against that zone coverage. And Matt Schaub does a nice job throwing it out in front for Owen Daniels.
He paid Daniels an excellent compliment, talking about how great a route runner he is, understands coverages. Also mentioned that he couldn't believe that he was actually recruited as a quarterback coming out of high school. He's seen him throw the football.
Yeah, he's a very smooth route runner.
There is no foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. It'll be first down.
So no penalty flag. 4 seconds remain in the third quarter. Daniels is a converted quarterback when he went to Wisconsin. And somewhere along the line, they made an early decision. Tight end. It's worked out well for Owen Daniels. Houston Texans have some momentum. End of the third quarter, the Cardinals with a 21-7 lead. The fourth quarter is next on CBS. The Arizona Cardinals with a 21-7 lead over the Houston Texans. We start play in the fourth quarter. Ian Eagle, Rich Gannon, and the rest of our CBS crew. Week 5 of the NFL. Texans interaction at 2-2. Cardinals coming off their bye week. They are 1-2. Texans with a 1st and 10 at midfield. Empty backfield. Schaub on a quick throw, and it came on a bounce to Andre Johnson. They were trying to get Johnson involved with a catch and run. Incomplete. What's the most dangerous sport in the world? How about jumping off a cliff and flying like a bird? You'll see it tonight on 60 Minutes only on CBS.
I think this is the most dangerous sport in the world. I played it for 17 years. I have a number of surgeries to prove it.
Have you jumped off a cliff and flown like a bird?
Not yet.
So how can you compare?
Thinking about it, though. 2nd and 10.
Schaub, deep drop. Pressure is there. And Schaub gets rid of it to Steve Slayton. Oh, gorgeous move. Slayton cutting it upfield. And ridden out of bounds as he crossed the 30-yard line. What a cut by Slayton. 23 yards on the zigzag.
And this is a great job by Matt Schaub. Watch him slide around the pocket, move, and do a nice job checking it down to your back, Steve Slayton. And now let this guy go to work. This guy is very difficult to bring down in the open field. Watch this move. Woo! He is an explosive player in the open field.
Is that a sound effect? Woo! First down for the Texans at the 27. Schaub standing tall in the pocket. Vontae Leach, the fullback, and he's dropped after a pickup of 2 by Gerald Hayes.
Well, the thing you know with Matt Schaub, when the protection is sound, he can be a very accurate passer. You know he's an intelligent player. He went to the University of Virginia. I think the big thing with him, Ian, he's now in year 3 in this system. He's been with Kyle Shanahan. He's been with Gary Kubiak, and I think he's really starting to understand what it takes to be successful in this system.
2nd and long. Schaub throwing.
Oh, he had him open too.
Owen Daniels, the intended receiver. Well, in this second half, the Houston Texans have been much more competitive and finally getting some big plays on offense.
Yeah, they've hung in there in battle. We talked about surviving the onslaught early. It wasn't going to be easy. They made some adjustments at halftime. They've been much more efficient here in the second half.
Arizona only 34 second half yards. Slayton in the backfield on a 3rd and 8. Schaub to throw. Schaub on target. He's got David Anderson and a first down for Houston.
We talked about all the man coverage that they've been getting on 3rd down. They run a man-to-man route. They block him up, and Schaub sits in there and makes a very good throw to Anderson on a corner route. You see Kyle Shanahan right there with his play sheet. They've done a much better job. The rhythm and timing of things in the second half have made a big difference for Matt Schaub.
It'll be a 1st and goal. The ball is hitting the 10-yard line. So they cannot get another first down. They do have a fresh set of downs to work with. Job faked the handoff. Now on the end around, Kevin Walter. Stiff arm and brought down at the line of scrimmage. Antrell Roll sticking with him. No gain on the play.
Antrell Roll makes a nice play here. He's not fooled at all. You just watch him. He's going to sniff this thing out. He does a nice job coming downhill, making a tackle on Walter in the backfield. Good job by the free safety.
Roll, the number 8 pick back in 2005, a former cornerback, big hitter at that free safety position. 2nd and goal, they actually back the football up about a half a yard.
Houston wants to spread you out. Empty backfield set.
8th play of the drive, down 21-7. Short throw, Andre Johnson up the field, touchdown, Houston. Let your playmakers create.
Yeah, it's not all that complicated. You just find a way to get Andre Johnson the ball, let that big offensive line get out in front, and let this guy go to work. The old college screen, just kick it out to him. Look at that offensive line, and then he does a great job being patient, allowing that thing to develop in front of him. But very, very good instincts by Andre Johnson.
8 plays, 77 yards. The Texans are right back in it. An extra point away from a 21-14 deficit. 12:18 to go in the 4th quarter. Texans are within a touchdown. Well, the Texans offense has woken up. Can we say the same about Arizona? We'll find out. An 11-yard touchdown, Schaub to Johnson. Johnson doing most of the work on the screenplay, capping off an 8-play, 77-yard drive. It took 3 minutes and change for the Texans. 21-14, Cardinals in front. Brown kicks it off. Stevens howling, the return man for Arizona. To the 24-yard line, hit by Xavier Adibi on special teams. And Kurt Warner. This offense was just chugging along in the first half, including back-to-back touchdowns late in that 2nd quarter to take a 21-0 advantage, but haven't heard much from them in the 2nd half, Rich.
Yeah, look at the difference there. You know, they have not been a very good team in the 4th quarter. They've scored just 3 points. In fact, the only team without a 4th quarter touchdown this season, so they have to find a way to jumpstart this offense here in the 4th quarter.
Warner's about to crack 300 yards passing, and this Cardinal team is actually 8-11 in games where Warner has thrown for 300 or more yards.
Hence the importance of running the football.
Trying to establish the run here with Hightower. It's been very limiting on the ground as Okoye is the first man to greet him. It's a 3.5, 4-yard gain.
And I think they struggle with their identity sometimes. We always talk about what is your identity as an offense, and certainly with the firepower that they have at the wide receiver position, I almost think sometimes the running game is an afterthought. I don't think you can win in the National Football League on a consistent basis if you don't have that balance that you're looking for in terms of run and pass.
And Warner told us we're such a good passing team that it's easy to get into that mentality that we should throw on every down, but he knows they have to have that balance, which they have not had here today. 2nd and 7. Warner dropped by Urban.
Boy, and that's one that Kurt Warner is going to want to have back. They brought the pressure. He had a big one-on-one opportunity on the outside. The middle of the field was wide open, and he just misses this throw a little bit inside. You gotta hit him when you have him that wide open. You don't see that very often from Kurt Warner. Look at that, 6 drop passes this season, the 4th fewest in the National Football League. It's a very sure-handed group of wide receivers.
3rd down conversions today, 2 of 7 for Arizona. This is a 3rd and 7, an important one with 11:25 to go. Warner, heavy pressure, gets rid of it. Oh, Kurt Warner took a shot. Mario Williams.
You know, Mario Williams and Amobi Okoye have quietly gone about their business here in the 2nd half, and they've caused some noise up in front there. You see both of them getting at home on Kurt Warner. Mario Williams just beats Levi Brown right inside, and that right tackle for the Cardinals, he has struggled throughout the season with physical pass rushers that have speed off the edge.
4 possessions in the 2nd half for Arizona. This is the Cardinals' 4th punt.
Ooh, man, a low one.
Jacoby Jones fields at the 23 and turns it upfield. A collision just short of the 35, an 11-yard return 51-yard punt. The Houston Texans down by 7 with the football when we come back. Rejoining you here in Arizona. Also want to say hello to our viewers in Shreveport, Louisiana. CBS affiliate KSLA. Part of the action today with Arizona in front 21-14. Fake the handoff. Schaub on a bootleg. Schaub on the move. Throwing out of bounds. Lunging attempt by James Casey, a backup tight end, former baseball star, played professionally in the Chicago White Sox organization. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Houston. Rich, here's the question. 21-0 at halftime. Arizona in front, seemingly in control. What's changed? What's turned in this game?
Well, clearly the momentum has swung in favor of the Texans. Clearly they made some adjustments at the half, and it's paid off huge in the second half here. Defensively, they came out, they were sharp, and offensively, they've been able to move the ball.
Schaub out of the pocket. Schaub hit as he throws. It squirts out. Looking for Andre Johnson, incomplete. Penalty marker thrown back at the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be holding on Darnell Dockett.
And that's the indication from Tony Corrente.
Holding, offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
Mike Breisel, 2nd year out of Colorado State, former practice squad member in 2006 and 2007.
He doesn't agree with the call.
Have you ever seen an offensive lineman agree with the call?
Ever see him just raise their hand like doing basketball?
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't me.
That's on me.
Yeah, never. They've been trained that way.
5th penalty against the Houston Texans. Back it up. 2nd and 20 now for Houston. Schaub in the pocket. Throwing and complete. Able to find Owen Daniels. Matt Ware, the coverage, the safety. It's a 9-yard pickup through the air.
Nice job sitting in there, Matt Schaub, and making a good, accurate throw to Owen Daniels. I think this guy is a very smooth route runner. It's a great job. He has deceptive speed, but he has a great feel for the type of coverage. He knows whether it's man or zone, and he knows how to find those holes in that zone coverage.
Crowd is riled up on a 3rd and 11.
Here comes pressure.
Shotgun. Look out. Schaub able to dump it off. Owen Daniels accelerating. And Daniels has enough for the 1st down. O'Keefer coming off the edge.
Well, they did a nice job blocking him up. Schaub sits in there, and he's able to find his tight end, Owen Daniels, matched up on the linebacker, O'Keefer. You really got to tip your hat to Schaub. He has been knocked around in this football game, but he's hung in there and battled and found a way to make some good throws down the field.
And that safety blitz from Antrell Roll forced Schaub to get rid of it. And Daniels with a tough catch and acceleration for the 1st down against O'Keefer. Play fake. Schaub slings it. Vontae Leach. And Leach has been a part of this offense here today, catching balls out of the backfield. Adrian Wilson there defensively. It's a 9-yard gain for the fullback.
And the one thing that you see from Matt Schaub is his willingness to get the backs involved in the passing game. If it's not there down the field, you've seen a number of times today where he's checked it down to Vontae Leach or Steve Slayton or even Chris Brown, and that's just good quarterback play by Matt Schaub.
3rd catch of the day for Vontae Leach. He came in with 5 catches on the season. He's yet to carry the ball this year. Base offense here with Leach in front of Slayton on a 2nd and 1. Slayton with the cut, and forward progress gives him the 1st down.
When you study this Houston offense, they give you a lot to prepare for as a defense. Very multiple in terms of their personnel usage, their formations, their motions and shifts. You see Kyle Shanahan there. They do a good job. Players constantly coming on and off the field. So it's a lot to prepare for as a defense.
They'll move the chains. 1st and 10 just inside the 45.
See the regular personnel on the field. 2 backs, 2 receivers and the tight end.
Schaub straight back, pumping, throwing out across the middle, and complete. Sliding grab by Owen Daniels. Pro Bowler last year. It covers 14 yards and a tough matchup for linebackers.
Yeah, you know, Adrian Wilson, we talked to him yesterday. He said that his key in this football game, as is usual, is the tight end. You see that matchup there. You always have to locate Adrian Wilson. I think that's key for Matt Schaub. 18 career interceptions, but he also has 18 sacks. He likes to play up around that line of scrimmage.
5th catch of the day for Daniels. 7th play of the drive. Houston is on the move, trailing by 7. Schaub. Little dump off for Slayton. Steve Slayton. Shake and bake move inside the 20, and another Houston first down. 13 yards as Rogers Cromartie whiffed.
Well, I tell you what, they are a very good screen team with Steve Slayton. He is a hard guy to tackle. You watch Schaub. Look at his eyes to the left. He does a good job drawing the rush, and then he checks it down to Steve Slayton. And Steve Slayton is just great in the open field. He's a fun player to watch.
First down for Houston inside the 20. Schaub to throw it. Pressure coming. Schaub unloads and complete to Johnson. Andre Johnson. Touchdown. Oh, what an individual effort by the Pro Bowler.
And that was an unbelievable catch by Andre Johnson, and I'll tell you why. Right as he's going to catch it, he knows he's going to get knocked out. He knows that he's going to take a head-on-head collision. Watch this. As he comes across the field, right there, he knows he's going to get whacked. He's going to get whacked by Gerald Hayes. He does a nice job hanging on to the football, and he continues to find a way to score a touchdown. Great concentration by Andre Johnson.
Well, we knew we had maybe the 2 best wide receivers in football here today. Johnson and Fitzgerald both have stood out for their individual teams. And Chris Brown's extra point ties this one at 21 apiece. 6:59 to go in the 4th quarter. The Texans have battled back. We're all knotted up in Arizona. This game is turned. The Cardinals and the Texans are tied at 21 as Chris Brown kicks it off. Stevens Howling returning. And a flag comes down as Stevens Howling came up just short of the 25-yard line. Ryan Moats on special teams, possibly a face mask after the 21-yard return. 6:52 to go in this 4th quarter. Different Texans team in the second half.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Now for Houston, first half to second half. 216 yards in the second half, 21 points, converting on 3rd downs. That tells the story.
Yeah, tale of 2 halves. I mean, this is a mentally tough group, the Houston Texans. I knew they'd put up a fight here in the second half. I think it speaks volumes about their ability to make adjustments at the half. It looked like a completely different group here in the second half.
What a huge penalty this turns out to be. Look where Kurt Warner gets to start this drive from. The 40-yard line for Arizona. Hightower will empty out the backfield. Warner from the gun. And knocked down. There has been no rhythm offensively for Arizona in this second half as Antonio Smith got a piece of that one. Compare that to the first half where Warner and the Cardinals were doing whatever they wanted on offense.
Yeah, just look at the top of your screen. A little stunt, little TE game, and you see Barwin right there. Right at the last second, he jumps up. Does a good job timing it up. And a lot of times these defenders, these defensive linemen, when they know they can't get to the quarterback, they'll eye the quarterback and wait just until he's ready to let it go, and then they jump up.
And it was Connor Barwin who got a piece of that one, the rookie out of Cincinnati. Flags come down.
Boy, they've been sloppy here in the second half. You can see the frustration on Kurt Warner's face.
False start. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And that's Levi Brown, number 5 pick back in 2007, on the right side of that offensive line from Penn State.
You know, and I've been in a lot of these games where you have a big lead and you're comfortable, and that's a problem. You're comfortable, and all of a sudden you come back out in the second half, a team comes back on you, and it's really hard to jumpstart the offense again. It's hard to get it going, and you can't just flick a switch. I think that's the danger, and that's what we're seeing here from the Cardinals late in the 4th quarter.
Kurt Warner was 22 of 26 passing. He has 3 of his last 10 since that outstanding start. Shotgun. Warner slings it, low throw. Jeremy Urban handles it, and down at the 41-yard line. 6, 7 yards depending on that spot. And for Kurt Warner, he has gone over the 300-yard mark. Now becomes the 5th player in NFL history with 50 or more 300-yard passing games, joining Marino, Favre, Manning, and Fouts. What a list.
It's amazing. 3 of them are still playing. Clearly a Hall of Fame class when you look at their production over the years.
And that probably means Kurt Warner will work for CBS someday. Warner throwing. And complete. No! Bolden did not bring it in cleanly. Jock Reeves over there defensively, and the Houston Texans have forced the Cardinals offense to punt.
And the Texans have made some great plays on the boundary. A lot of these back shoulder throws, they've been able to get the ball, particularly out of Anquan Bolden's hands, and you see the frustration right there. They're just missing by a little bit. I think the Texans have really clamped down in the second half. Ben
Graham to punt it. We know what Jacoby Jones is capable of doing. Jones ranging over. This one will take an Arizona roll. Out of bounds. Graham gets the job done. Line of scrimmage will be the 11-yard line for the Texans. They were down 21-0. Now they have a chance to take the lead. Second ever meeting between the Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals. Tight one, 21 apiece. 5:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Schaub, safety valve is Owen Daniels, and he chugs towards the sideline, short of a first down. Nothing going on downfield for Schaub and the Texans, so he is able to find Owen Daniels for a 7-yard gain on first down. First 7 drives of the day for Houston, 112 yards. They had 4 punts. Last 3 drives, crisp, effective, productive on offense. 2nd and 3. Schaub throwing again. Andre Johnson, sure hands, and a first down, 5 yards. Carlos Dansby with a hit.
Well, I got a kick out of what Matt Schaub said to us last night. We're going to have to score some points today to keep up. They didn't keep their end of the bargain in the first half, but they've more than made up for it in the second half, scoring 21 unanswered points here. And they've looked like a completely different offense here in the second half.
And Matt Schaub has gone over 300 yards on the day. Andre Johnson over 100 yards receiving. New set of downs for Houston. Schaub and a quick hitter. He's got Kevin Walter able to turn it upfield across the 30-yard line. They've just switched roles. This is what Arizona was doing in the first half. And now it's Houston in the second half taking what the defense gives them.
And I can't say enough about the job that Steve Slayton has done in pass protection. Just his awareness, his ability to scan the defense and pick up the unblocked man. He did a nice job here a number of times today blocking Adrian Wilson, the strong safety of the Cardinals.
On a 2nd and 2, fake the running play. Schaub. Throw it off to Slayton, who's got a first down. And tripped up around the shoelaces. 9-yard gain. O'Keefer with the tackle. Line of scrimmage will be the 39-yard line.
You know, Slayton just 43 yards rushing today, Ian, but what he's been able to do in terms of the pass protection, but also he's caught 5 balls for 54 yards. 54 yards, a lot of big plays, making the initial defender miss and picking up some big yardage.
1st and 10 for the Texans, tied with the Cardinals, 21 apiece, under 4 minutes to go. Running play. And Slayton gets buried. Darnell Dockett, first man there. Finished off by Roll.
And this guy has had a wonderful season, Darnell Dockett. You see right here, penetration upfield in the running game. You know, Gary Kubiak told us last night the best player he's seen on film this year. Some say he's been the most consistent performer for the Cardinals defense. He has been solid. Not only the running game, but the passing game as well.
So tough to handle one-on-one, tenacious defensive end, now in his 6th year out of Florida State. 2nd and 14, Schaub. 11 straight completions for Schaub as Anderson gets hit quickly by the safety Roll.
And he's doing a good job working the ball underneath these coverages and being patient and taking what the defense gives him. Look, he's getting rid of the ball quick. He's finding his backs. He's finding the tight end. and he's finding guys like David Anderson working underneath coverage.
Matt Schaub. Boy, huge numbers in this second half for Schaub. Down to 2:32 and counting left in the fourth quarter. On a 3rd and long for Houston. Schaub sets and throws. Picked off. Intercepted. Rogers Cromartie will high kick it into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A pick six for the lead.
And we always talk about as quarterbacks, if you wait, you're late, and particularly on out-breaking routes. This is something that a veteran quarterback like Matt Schaub should know better. You can't throw the ball late on the boundary. Just watch, he's starting to his left, he's late coming back to his right, and Rogers Cromartie, he sits on that out route the whole way.
Oh, the playmaking corner. Everybody was talking about a sophomore slump. He just came up with a game-changing play. 2:20 remaining in the fourth quarter.
You know, it's amazing. You can play well for an entire game, and all of a sudden in the last minutes, you make a bad decision. And that's clearly what this was. He was working to his left. He was late coming back to his right. And you can't do that. You can't work all the way back across the field on a timing route and be late against a corner like Rogers Cromartie. Just a poor decision by Matt Schaub at crunch time.
Well, Darnell Dockett was injured on the play. He's now up on his own feet and walking off towards the sideline. We'll get the extra point here from Rackers. Dominique Rogers Cromartie. DRC, as he's known by his teammates. TD, 49 yards.
Boy, he was on the hot seat. He had a very difficult start to the season, but he's hung in there in battle today.
Now, the Cardinals told us in our meetings they got humbled by Peyton Manning. He carved them up 2 weeks ago. Matt Schaub in the second half was putting up huge numbers, but as you said, Rich, the one big mistake, and it leads to the go-ahead score. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Houston and Arizona, Ian Eagle, Rich Gannon, and the rest of our CBS crew. Cardinals now out in front, 28-21. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast.
Well, the good news for Matt Schaub, he's got 2 minutes and 20 seconds. He's got 3 timeouts left, and he's got a chance to do it again. Chance to take his team all the way down the field and tie this thing up. You have to have a shortened memory when you play that position in the National Football League. It's not always going to be perfect. You have to find a way to battle back and deal with adversity.
Houston has thrown the football 45 times today. Gary Kubiak's team 2-2. Remember, this is a team that started 0-4 in 2008. Everybody thought that this was a pick for 2009 coming out of their division to maybe switch things up in the AFC. Andre Davis, the return man.
Oh, man.
Andre Davis, long strides out across the 40. And forced out of bounds in Arizona territory by Michael Adams. They got a big return from Jacoby Jones earlier. They couldn't do anything with it. This is a 63-yard rip for Davis.
And if it's not Jacoby Jones, it's Andre Davis. They have 2 of the premier returners in the game. Look at him kicking into overdrive right there on the boundary. Now you give Matt Schaub in this offense some excellent field position.
It'll be Houston football at the 40-yard line of Arizona. Now trailing by a touchdown. 2:09 left.
Well, this team will not go down easy.
3 receivers set. Schaub looking to throw. He guns one underneath once again. Owen Daniels is hit short of a first down. Matt Ware over there. 7-yard gain through the air for Houston as we hit the 2-minute warning. Arizona 28, the Texans 21. We'll have the finish in a moment. Arizona Cardinals 28, Houston Texans 21. We've got 2 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Texans are driving on a 2nd and 3 from the Arizona 33. Slayton by himself in the backfield. Chop steps and guns. He's got David Anderson and a first down. Anderson brought down to the 22-yard line by Bryant McFadden. That covers 11 yards.
Boy, another good job sitting in there. Good job by Slayton picking up the blitz, kicking it out to David Anderson. David Anderson has been sneaky today. He's made some big catches at crunch time for the Texans.
Quick snap. Schaub over the middle. And it's Owen Daniels. 1st and goal at the 6 for Houston.
Boy, Owen Daniels has been a handful today for this secondary. You just watch him right there. He's working on Dansby, the linebacker, and that's the matchup that the Texans are looking for. You get a guy like Owen Daniels matched up one-on-one with the linebacker, he's usually going to win that battle.
Texans have used the timeout. They have 2 remaining, 1:27 left on the clock. With Arizona in front 28-21. Gary Kubiak's team is 2-2. Texans have never been 2-0 on the road. They beat Tennessee on the road earlier this season. Their other victory came last week against Oakland. They got pummeled in week 1 against the New York Jets.
Well, you look at those numbers there, you can just keep in mind what he did in the first half. Not a lot of opportunities. They weren't very good on 3rd down, but boy, Matt Schaub has been able to go in there at halftime. They've made some adjustments, and he has been just lightning here in the second half.
1:27 left on the clock. 1st and goal for Houston from the 6. Schaub from the gun.
Oh, is that a good
pass?
Play?
Steve
Wow.
Slayton, and he's bottled up at the 1. Darnell Dockett.
Boy, that was a good-looking play. That even fooled me up here in the booth. Watch him just flip it back underneath to Steve Slayton. Little shovel pass, and well, that's not something you see a lot of.
Clock is moving, 1:05 left. Slayton will head to the sideline. Chris Brown comes in to replace him.
Arizona, this is their first.
So the Cardinals use a timeout. That is their first. They still have 2 remaining.
Well, gets back to play selection in this part of the field. And
59 seconds left to play. Arizona with a 7-point lead as we get an NFL Today update to New York and JB.
Ian and Rich, take a look at how it's all knotted in Denver. Kyle Orton dropping back, hooking up with Brandon Marshall, an 11-yard strike, 2nd touchdown of the day. We're knotted at 17 late in the 4th in Denver. Back to Ian Eagle and Rich Gannon.
Boy, JB, what a surprise the Denver Broncos have been. What a surprise those uniforms are as well.
I'm trying to figure out which team's the Denver Broncos. Holy smokes. Good-looking uniforms.
2nd and goal from the 1. Jumbo formation. On a handoff right up the middle. Chris Brown pushing. Didn't get there. It'll be 3rd and goal for the Texans inside the 1.
Well, you bring in the big back, Chris Brown. Very similar play to where they scored on in the first half. You see this push right there. He's not able to extend the ball. Their first touchdown in the second half.
So Arizona takes another timeout. Cardinals are trying to keep as much time on the clock as possible with the hope of getting the football back if Houston goes in for the touchdown. They still have 2 more cracks at it. 3rd and goal coming up.
And you don't want to give that guy right there an opportunity with too much time on the clock. He can make you pay for it.
3 tight end formation for the Texans.
Boy, crowd noise really gets to be an issue down this part of the field, and you have to make sure you get off on the snap of the ball. Penetration in short yardage and goal line situations is absolutely devastating.
Texans looking for the tie. Play fake off the boot. Schaub floats it and caught. Incomplete. Dreesen on the back line.
Here's an example of just Matt Schaub. He had plenty of time. Just set your feet and make a good, accurate throw. Watch, you have time here to get your shoulders around. You see how he didn't get his shoulders squared to the target, and the ball sails.
And the right call.
Boy, just a critical mistake, a technical flaw right there from Matt Schaub. You got to set your feet, square your shoulders, and make a good, accurate throw.
And the Texans will use a timeout with 47 seconds left. He had Dreesen, all 6'4" of him, wide open in the back of the end zone.
Oh, you don't get him this wide open. Look how this ball sails, and the reason it does is he's working to his left, which is a very hard throw for a right-handed quarterback, but you got to make sure that you square your shoulders to the target. You can see him falling away. You see him falling away at the top of the throw, and that's why that ball sailed. Sometimes the hardest throws are when they're so wide open like that in the back of the end zone, but you just got to be patient and make a good, accurate throw.
All right, you turn the page here. You've got one shot at it on 4th down. Runner pass, Rich.
I say you're running here. I say you're Matt Schaub. You talk to that group up front. You say, hey, we're counting on you. We're going to hand it to Chris Brown, and we're going to score right here.
Looking for the tie. 4th and goal. Handoff to Brown.
Oh, he's not going to get it.
Stacked up.
Unbelievable stop by that defensive front.
The Arizona defense has done it.
Boy, Gabe Watson and that group up front, they stymied the offensive line. Penetration right there. You can see the exuberance from Darnell Dockett. Great job by that Arizona defense. You look at penetration. Watch him get off on the snap of the ball. You can see Gabe Watson. He walks the center right back into the run. You can see that offensive line. They're on the ground. You can see right there, Vontae Lease trying to push Chris Brown over the top. Wow, that is a great goal line stand by the Arizona Cardinals.
The Houston Texans come within inches of tying this one up.
Gary Kubiak's asking for a review upstairs. I don't think that was even close.
They will take a look at it. Booth review.
And penetration. Look at them walk the center back. I mean, that's a great job by Gabe Watson. He got underneath Chris Myers, the center for the Houston Texans, and he walks him back into the backfield. Just watch the penetration right there. The fullback gets stymied in the hole, and Chris Brown has nowhere to go.
We are reviewing to determine whether or not the runner was short of the goal line.
You see all those linemen standing around, some on the ground, and you see a bunch of helmets, a bunch of white helmets standing up the back in the hole.
Under 2 minutes, no coaches' reviews. It's a booth review. And they'll take another look at it. We've seen it from the 2 angles, and I'm yet to see anything that shows a touchdown.
Boy, initial contact is about 1.5 yards in the backfield. Big scrum there, but now if you're Kurt Warner in this offense, you're talking to the backs, and all you're talking to them about is ball security. Ball security. With 40 seconds left in the game, all you got to do is protect the football.
The ball is spotted just outside the goal line. They decided to run it on 4th down with Chris Brown, their 6'3" running back.
What's the call here, Ryan? I'm going to put you on the spot. What is the call here? How about a quarterback sneak? I think that is the call if I'm Ken Wisenhunt in the Arizona Cardinals. I don't even want to take any chance with Kurt Warner handing that ball off in the backfield and risking a safety in this situation. Kurt Warner better make sure he has a chin strap on nice and tight.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field will stand. It will be Arizona's ball, 1st down.
3 plays from the 1-yard line, and the Texans unable to cash in.
And we talked about their inability, their lack of ability to be successful in short yardage and goal line situations. That was really the difference today for the Houston Texans.
So you see where the football is. Arizona,
wow,
40 seconds left.
Quarterback center exchange, very important here.
Operating out of their own end zone and movement.
And listen, that's a good job by Kurt Warner. They used a hard count.
Offense, number 84. Penalty be assessed half a distance to the goal. Remains first down.
And you don't expect that by your veteran tight end Anthony Beck, but that's a good job by Kurt Warner. Listen, the ball half the distance of the goal there is not going to hurt you at all. Try a hard count, see if you can't get him to jump. Now you try the quarterback sneak.
Rich, it's half the distance of what? They're in the same spot.
Half the distance of a foot.
Operating out of their own end zone. Warner, a push. Didn't get much. Down to 37 seconds left. And a timeout taken by Houston. The executive producer of the NFL on CBS is Sean McManus. The vice president of production, CBS Sports, Harold Bryant. Today's game produced by Bob Dekas, directed by Chris Svensson. Senior producer of CBS Sports and the NFL Today, Eric Mann. The director, Bob Matina. Coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS, Lance Barrow. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Steve Karasik. The associate director of today's game, Jonathan Siegel. Broadcast associate, Stephen Murphy. Technical manager, Rick Godwin. Technical director, Ed Collins. Audio supervisor is Phil Adler.
Boy, that's always a great job by the crew. Great camera angles, and it was just a fun, entertaining game.
Not sure anybody could have imagined it would come down to this halftime with the Cardinals in front 21-0, seemingly cruising to a victory. Down to 27 seconds left. And coming up tonight on CBS, it's all new, beginning with 60 Minutes, followed by The Amazing Race, Three Rivers, and Cold Case. That's only on CBS.
Well, the difference in that game, the Houston Texans' inability to convert third and short, fourth down situations.
The Arizona Cardinals get the win at home over the Houston Texans. An interception for a touchdown from Rogers Cromartie, the difference. Let's go to New York and JB.